Halo, Bapak Yasir. Yes, kita ada streaming YouTube-nya, but we will send you the link soon ya.
Selamat pagi, sekedar bertanya saja, panitia, apakah ini memang chatnya di disabled ya? Halo Mbak Ika atau Yose, Pak Yose. Atau Nun.
Halo, Ibu. Bisa kok, kita ini sudah ada 2 yang pakai chat room.
Oh begitu?
Iya, Bu.
Oke, baik-baik, sebentar.
Bagaimana Ibu? Sudah bisa chatnya?
Sebentar Mbak, ini masih, punya saya masih disabled ya?
Ibu Laksmi, I just sent you a message on chat room. Did you get it?
Yes, I got one, but still I cannot answer your text message. Bentar, atau mungkin saya leave meeting dulu, nanti mohon izin dimasukkan lagi, Ji. Supaya mungkin refresh begitu.
Oke, Bu.
Di saya juga disable, Mbak. Sorry, sama kok.
Yeah, I guess mine is also disabled.
Yeah, I guess some of us are disabled. Not sure though. Sudah baru kembali lagi fungsi chatnya, sudah bisa lagi muncul.
Oke, thank you. Punya ini, Mr. Yosef, sudah bisa belum?
Yeah, it already works. Thank you.
Oke.
Thank you, Ji.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and
God.
gentlemen, and also honorable speakers. Today, February 25th, 2021. Welcome to ELT Sharing Session 6, Teaching Literature in Online Class Environment, Challenges and Opportunities.
Jogja, alhamdulillah.
Oh iya, sorry.
Good morning again. I'm Ika Wilawati Christina from STBLIA Yogyakarta, and I'll be your MC on today's webinar. For your information, this webinar it is also broadcasted lively on YouTube and Insta Live, hosted by STBLIA Yogyakarta. And in this webinar, we have 251 participants from all over Indonesia. We have some from Ambon, East Nusa Tenggara, and also from Colombia. Good morning, all participants. First, let me read you the agenda of our webinar today. The first one will be the opening from MC, and later we will step into the main agenda, which will be led by Ibu Saras as our moderator. And we have 5 inspiring speakers for today's webinar. We have Ibu Afriadian Prastanti M. Hum from Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa University Yogyakarta. Good morning, Ibu Afria.
Good morning, Mbak Ike.
I hope you find there, Ibu.
Alhamdulillah.
Good to hear. And also we have Ibu Giatmi SPDMA from Veteran University. Hello, Ibu Giatmi. Ibu Giatmi.
Halo Mbak, ya.
Yeah. And then we have Ibu Dr. Purwanti Kusumaningtyas from Kristen Satya Wacana University, Yogyakarta. Hello, Ibu Tias. I hope everything is going fine there.
Good, thank you. Satya Wacana is in Salatiga instead of Jogja.
Oh my God, my fault. Ah.
Thank you anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Ibu Maria Eka Mulatsi, MA from Sanata Dharma University. Hello, Ibu Maria. Hi, Ibu Maria. Okay. And then finally, last but not least, we have Ibu Hilaria Dewi Hapsari M. Hum from STB Alia Yogyakarta. Hello, ma'am.
Halo, Mbak Ike.
Oh my God, this is the first time you call me Mbak. Good morning again to all our speakers, and ladies and gentlemen, we will start our webinar. Ibu Saras, time is yours. Good luck, everyone, and enjoy the ride.
Right. Thank you, Mbak Ike, for time given to me. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The honorable speakers, dear all participants, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to this prestigious ELT sharing session entitled Teaching Literature in an Online Classroom Environment, Challenges and Opportunities. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Risa Raswati, you could call me Saras, and I'm going to be the moderator of today's event. All right, before we start the presentation, I'm going to share the rundown of today's webinar. It will be divided into 2 sessions. The first one is presentation, and then the second one is question and answer session. All right, there will be 5 prominent speakers who are going to share their knowledge with us today. And then if you have any question and comment, please write it down in the chat column so that I can collect them all. And then I'm going to read all the questions in the second session. All right, without further ado, let's start the first session of today's webinar. And I'm going to invite Ibu Afria as our first speaker today. So, hello, Ibu Afria.
Halo, Bu Saras.
All right, are you ready to deliver your presentation?
Insya Allah.
All right. But before you start your presentation, let me read your short biography first so that all participants will get to know you better. Right, so Ibu Afria Dian Prastanti was born on 6 April in Pekalongan, Now she lives in Berbah Sleman,
Yes.
Yogyakarta, right? And then you have been teaching at Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa University since 2014.
That's correct.
All right. You have been teaching some courses here, such as reading for general communication, reading for professional context, reading for specific purposes, speaking for general communication, and entrepreneurship. Right. For the research, you have published some articles entitled Learning Method in Multicultural Class on Film Freedom Writer in 2017, Students' Difficulties in Reading Comprehension and Vocabulary Mastery in 2018, Pengembangan Course Grid Mata Kuliah Reading for Professional Context in 2019, Google Classroom as Reading Log Alternative Media in Reading Class in 2020, and Constraints of Online Learning in Reading Course during COVID-19 outbreak. Wow, I think you have been very productive, Ibu Afria.
But no literature subject.
Not literature subject.
No.
All right, so you teach reading, yeah?
I haven't
Reading
ever
subject.
taught literature.
All right, but you're going to deliver your experiences in teaching literary work for reading class, right? All right. Okay, so today Bu Afria will deliver her presentation entitled Literary Work for Reading Class. And because today Bu Afria cannot join us till the end of this event, I'm going to switch the question and answer session earlier for Ibu Afria. So after she finishes delivering her presentation, we're going to open the question and answer session, especially for Ibu Afria. Is that right, Ibu Afria?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, Bu Afria, now it's time for you to deliver your presentation. Time is yours.
Thank you very much, Bu Saras.
Okay.
All right, can everyone see my slide?
Yep. You can read it
Okay.
very clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam dan bahagia. It's salam from UST. All right, before I start to talk about our material today, I would like to share you a story of my life. I graduated from English literature and also from Ilmu Susastra from Undip, but I haven't ever taught literature in my whole life. So I try to use literary work for the reading class I'm conducting. Okay, then the title of my material is Literary Works for the Reading Class. Okay. Before we go to the substance of the sharing session, later on I will share you our experience. It is not only mine, but also my partner, in this case, Bu Laksmi, our experience how to use literary works for our reading class. We have to consider the condition or the facts. First, that students' reading interest is low. This is based on the Central Connecticut State University research in March 2020 about the world's most literate national rank. Indonesia was on number 60, from 60 countries. And the next, UNESCO stated that Indonesian reading interest is only 0.001%. It means that from 1,000 Indonesians, there's only 1% who like to read regularly. And based on from our mini research, that there is 43% students dislike reading, means they do not like reading. They just read occasionally. They just read when the teacher asks them to read. And then we go to fact number 2, that students want and need. What is meant here is based on the data from our mini research. There are 3 highest kinds of book that student wants to read. The first one is short story, novel, and webtoon. So short story become the first book that student wants to read. And the lowest choice is academic article, because students need to increase their ability in reading. So we cannot just let them to read always only short story, novel, and webtoon. They have to enhance their knowledge by reading many other kinds of reading texts, like article in a journal maybe, or news, the newspaper and magazine. Not only the things that they like. All right, and the fact number 3 is that in our study program, that is English Education Department in OST, we have 3 literary subjects. Introduction to Literature, Literary Appreciation, and Seminar on Literature. We have only 3 subjects, but based on our research, there are 22% students in last year took literature for their thesis. It means that there are many students who like to take literature as their subject. They want to study literature more, but we have only three times of studying literature. I think they have to enhance their opportunity in reading literature. Okay, and we go to the fourth. The fourth is literature is considered as less important field. So it's typo. It should be field. Then so by giving them to reach more literary work, we hope they will get more experience on reading about literary work. And back to the students' thesis, they only most of them they write about moral values, and then character and characterization. Here, I just want to let them know that literature is not only moral values, not only characters or characterization, not only motivation. There are many kinds of things that we can discuss on the literature, such as let's say cultures. We can also talk about sociology, feminism, post-colonialism. So they have to widen their knowledge about literature. And then about the most concerning part is literature is considered as less important field. Yes, many people think it is based on the article I read. Many people think that literature doesn't take part on society development. They think that we are not we are in the industrial era, so the subject like science, industry, physical development are the more important than literature. But actually literature has many advantages. Okay, here are the advantages of reading literary work. First, character building. You know, like when we read novel or short story or poem, there are characters that we can read, that we can know. Literature offers short story that can stimulate people to do something when they like that characters, then they become tend to, what is it, being like that characters, and there are also many things that can be learned from literature, such as imagination. By reading, we can imagine something, we can develop our imagination, our moral, our culture, and also social. So it will help us in characters building. And also it develops sensitivity to human problem and recognition, respect for values. There are many values offered by literary works, and how to face life. Right. And the next advantage of reading literary works is language enrichment. All of us know that reading English text will help students to know new words, to recognize sentence from that text, and sure, it will enrich students' knowledge. And as we know that literary work, it has multiple interpretations. So if we want to know the meaning of the text, we have to make something like inference. We have to do inference. So it will give students to study language in a good way. And then the cultural enrichment. Yeah, literary works also a doorway into other culture. Let's say when we read a novel from Europe, maybe, and we know the culture of Europe, and if we read about novel or short story from India, we will know the culture from India. So it will give cultural enrichment for the students. And number 4 is authentic material. Yes, literature includes all possible varieties of subject matter and language that might be intrinsically interesting. And the texts are not trivial, yeah, because there are many value in the literary work, and it covers many significant themes and contexts which are missing, maybe missing in ELT textbooks, like the value and personal involvement. It creates motivation. Yeah, students can see how literature relates to their lives, and when they know it, it usually makes them like literature. When they see something in something common with their lives, they start to like it. They start to make something. What is it? They start to make reading habit. It can be. And the last is critical thinking, social sensitivity. Texts of literary works are open to multiple interpretation, like like we have discussed before, that in a short story or novel or a play, it has multiple interpretation. When they try to, I mean, in this case, when students try to comprehend the meaning of the text, they must make inference. They must draw on both the context, the reading, and their own experience. It will increase, it will stimulate their critical thinking. Why it can be so? Why it seems like that? Why not that? Okay, so it will stimulate their critical thinking and social sensitivity. Okay, when we start to give literary work as the material for the reading, we have to consider these goals. First is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. But it is not only cognitive which is important, because like knowing the intrinsic and extrinsic of the text, including character, plot, and setting, it's something that we are used to do. And yeah, it belongs to the cognitive knowledge, but it's not only that. I think the most important is about the affective and psychomotor. In affective, how we can ask the student how we can ask the student to read and to read they like, to read something that they like, then they can start to love reading. They can start to make a reading habit. It's the most important thing, because when they start reading, they start a reading habit. It means they appreciate literature, then they will do it again and again. Not only about the knowledge when they know it and finish, that's it. No, but in effective, they will do it regularly. It will stimulate them to do regular habit. And second model here, it also almost the same with how we appreciate literature. They can increase reading interest. They will read again and again, and they can start to, when they like short story, let's say, or they like poem, and when they are really like it, then they start to write something. They like to write literary work. Okay, I think it's good for them. Okay, so based on that reason, that students' reading interest is low, and then students they really want to read only short story, novel, webtoon, but maybe they did not do it regularly, or some of them they do not like reading instead. And our study program, we have only 3 literature subjects, but many students like to take literature as their theme of the thesis. That's why those become the reason why I take a literary work for our reading material in our reading class. So we apply it for the reading for semester 2, reading for general communication. But before we choose the material for the student in the reading for general communication class, we have to consider the learning outcome. Here are the learning outcome of the class. The first, students are able to comprehend, and analyze various topics of English, such as introducing oneself, family, and phases of life, people and places, time, houses, health, illness, trading, transportation, domestic duties, weather, and geographical features. Students are able to analyze text using reading techniques, reviewing and predicting, scanning, skimming, inferences. And students are able to apply frequently the vocabulary knowledge, like the reading techniques, and also how to deduce meaning in different texts, in different situations. And last is respond and critical thinking to the various English texts, such as description, narrative, explanation, and article. Those are the learning outcome that we have to cover. Okay, it becomes the consideration of the material, choosing material. Then we have to see the material and how to conduct the class. Here they are. This is the way how we choose material. First, we have to see the language proficiency. We have to consider whether our students is in the beginner level or upper level or intermediate level. Yeah, we have to know that, so that we can choose. Not only the teacher who choose, but the teacher will choose it together with students for suitable material for them. And time availability, because reading for general communication is not a literature subject. If I give them a literary work, it means it's only additional, and you have to consider the time availability. Not of the whole class will be done for reading the literary text, but we just take some times in the end of the class to talk about the literary text. And the cultural competence here means what kind of culture, which culture that students like to study, like our own culture, or they are really curious to study another culture too. And then the students' interest, back to students' interest. Here we have to provide them something that they like, something that they can enjoy in doing it, and so they will not feel that they are insisted to do it. They will do something that they like. What is it, in a good way. And then the personal involvement, when students feel that there are many things in the there are many things in the novel that relates to their own life, they will start to like it. They will start to to read again. And then we have to consider too the relevant with the reading class material. In my class, in my previous class, reading for general communication, the students say that they have some reading stacks that they like to read. Road to Agra from Amy Sommerfeld, Harry Potter, Old Man and the Sea, Oliver Twist, The Black Cat. But after a long discussion, we finally decided that we chose Road to Agra from Amy Sommerfeld. Why finally we choose that? Because from the language proficiency, it's not really difficult for them to understand the novel. And then from the time availability, it consists of 16 chapters, so it is quite easy for us to divide the chapters, to break the chapters into the meetings, because we have 16 meetings for the class, so we can use one chapter for one meeting. And another reason we choose it because it's about children's struggle for school. The story is about children who likes to go to school, but they are poor, so and they do not have any money, and they do many things to keep them going to school. And Road to Agra is also covers the learning outcomes requirements, like the learning outcome that we discussed before. About family, yes, there is a family term in Road to Agra. About life, of course, it talks about life, houses. Yeah, there are many chapters happen in the house, and transportation, weather, and many others. And the more important is it can be used to apply reading techniques like preview and predicting, scanning, skimming, and also inference. Before we start to read the novel, we can apply the reading techniques, previewing and predicting. We try to preview and predict the book, and then before we go further, we can do skimming. After that, we do each chapter. Then in the end of each chapter, teacher gives them questions so that they can skim a single information from the novel.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how we conduct the online class. First, material. Discuss with the student what material will be suitable for them, which material they really want to read. Yeah, we have discussed it. Student semester 1, choose road to Agra. It consists of, because it consists of 6 chapters, it will be easy for us to divide each chapter into 16 meetings. And then the time allocation. For the material, the other material we use, we discuss on the other material in the first section of the meeting. But we use our last 20 minutes to discuss on each chapter of The Road to Agra. We break into some groups consists of several students, 5 or around 5. And if we use Zoom, we can do breakout Zoom. But if you do not use Zoom, students usually like to, Miss, can I out of the Zoom? I want to have a discussion by WhatsApp group, either by chat discussion, or video call. And I let them free to choose it. But on the certain time that we have decide, we have to be back to the Zoom and we discuss it together with the other groups. Okay. And then when they are having discussion, students are asked to retell the story of each chapter. For example, student A start to retell the first part of the chapter, and then it will be continued by the other students. They may take turn in retelling. And if they feel that they have different understanding of the substance of the text, they can interrupt anytime. They can interrupt when they feel they have different understanding, because they have their different perspective too. And when they have done doing it, we back together in the main room, and we discuss something general. We can conclude, we make conclusion from each chapter. And when it is done, for example, meeting 5 means we are talking about chapter 5, and in the end of the meeting 5, we start to preview and predict chapter 6 that we are going to use for the next week. So we can apply previewing and predicting before we start the next chapter. Okay, so based on those experience, based on this class, we can see that students can get experience. One, students choose reading material that they like, so they will feel enjoy when they are reading the material. And it can start a reading habit, because students have to read every week. They have to arrange time when they have to read, and going to class with story in mind. Yeah, when they come to the class, means they have something that they will share to the friends. If they didn't read the text before, it means they cannot continue the retelling. They cannot include it. Sorry, they cannot. What is it? They do not understand about what the discussion are discussing about. And students have opportunity to have enjoyable discussion, because they feel enjoy and not under pressure, and they can interrupt anytime. They can share, they can convince their idea freely. And the last, of course, they have experience in collaboration with other friends. All right. Okay, I think that's all for the explanation. Thank you. If you have any other idea, or you have suggestion for me, I will be very glad to hear. Bu Saras?
All right, thank you so much, Ibu Afria. It was such an inspiring presentation. And I can see from your presentation that giving literary text in reading class is beneficial, right, Ibu? So that students can practice their reading skill as well as learning life values. You have mentioned before that they can learn about cultural, sociological, or political as well in literary works. All right. There are some questions here for you, Bu Afria. As you have to leave earlier from this event, I think I'm going to read the question for you. All right. The first one is from, I think it's from your student, Uka Diandra.
Ucha.
Ucha. Okay.
Hello, Ucha.
All right.
I have answered it, Afria.
He or she?
He.
Oh,
It's he.
Hello, Ucha. How are you, Ucha? So Ucha here asked question to Miss Afria. I always have obstacle with reading. How to keep focus with reading? It means that there is no blank moment.
How to keep?
Yeah, how to keep focusing in reading.
Should I answer now?
Please. Yep.
All right.
As
Thank
you have to leave earlier. Right?
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Blacksmith.
Hi.
You said you want to help me to answer.
Hello, Blacksmith.
Let me take care of Ucha. So you just go on with the next questions.
Oh, all right. So you have answered
Okay,
Ucha's question, Blacksmith.
yeah, I just all right. I'll try to answer. How to keep focusing in reading? Yeah. It's about habit, I think, and first it's about habit. When we have habit, it means we have a lot of reading. It will help us in focusing. And the second is, if we understand what we are reading, we will always keep it in mind. We will always keep the story in mind so that we can stay focused on what we are reading. Okay, so the first is habit. You have to increase your reading habit. And the second is you have to understand what you are reading about. Right. Thank you.
Are you
Or
satisfied,
any other? Is there any other answer or idea, please?
Laxmi, do you want to add something?
Oh yeah, okay. Because Ucha also said something about to help him more focus on what he's reading. Well, set supporting environment for the reading.
Sure.
If Ucha loves to stay in a quiet room, then okay, stay in the quiet room and then read like that. Gitu. So that's just an additional answer. Just make up a supporting environment for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bu Laksmi.
Make you enjoy.
Right. I think let's continue to the next question. Bu Afria, there is also a question from Mbak Agustina Lestari. Question to Miss Afria.
Yes.
Her question is, did your student read the chapter in the class or you assign them a chapter to read before the class?
Oh yeah. Are you my student? If you're my student, then you are accustomed to my my rules. I ask the student to read in their house.
Okay.
So when they come to the class, they have already had the story in their mind. Okay, this is what I said that I really want them to have reading habit. They have to start to have reading habit regularly. Although only one chapter for 1 week, that actually we can finish it only several hours, maybe only less than 1 hour. Okay, so students have to read at home. When they come to the class, they have already had the story in their mind and they are ready to share it with the friends. If they
Okay.
didn't do it, means they do not know anything. They do not know what to share to the friends. Okay, thank
Is
you.
that all, Bu Afria?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the next question. It's from Pak Yose.
Hello, Pak
Good morning,
Yose.
Bu Afria.
You
So do
remember
you know
me?
each other? Oh, okay.
I've ever met Pak Yose several years ago in West.
Yeah,
I
okay.
see.
Good to meet you again, Bu Afria.
Glad to meet you.
All right, Pak Yose asked this question. How do you usually select the reading topic or materials in accordance with the student's proficiency and interest in English?
Mm.
Because it may happen that in class, there are students who have different English
Yes.
ability and
Sure.
proficiency.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. That's why I always ask students. I give chance for them to find the reading text that's suitable for them. Like several semesters ago, I have students with different level of the proficiency. Like let's say like student A like to read Wim Pickett, you know Wim Pickett, the level of Wim Pickett, and then student B want to read novel from Alchemist.
Mhm.
You know the difference with them. It's
Yeah, of course.
different to decide, of
Yeah.
course, because we have a really wide range of the
Mhm.
ability. Then as a teacher, we have to conclude. We have to make a conclusion for this. Then we can discuss it with the friends. We have to discuss it. I mean, with the student, all of the students. We can take something like, if we read Wim Pickett, what's the advantages? What's the strength? What's the weaknesses? And if we read The Alchemist, can your other friends understand this? If we, let's say, we understand the meaning of the words, but we do not know the substance, what is it about? Okay, Alchemist. Okay, so here what is needed is discussion in the class.
I do
Yeah.
agree with you.
Okay.
Pak Yose?
Pak Yose, you
Yeah,
understand
thank
what I
you.
mean?
I guess I will apply that in my class, Bu Afria. Okay, thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you. Or maybe you have any other idea for the improvement.
Yeah,
I'm
later
really
we
glad
can have
to. Okay.
discussion. Yeah.
Private discussion.
Oh,
All right.
Thank you, Bu Afria. Thank you, Pusakas.
anytime.
Yep. You're welcome, Pak Yose. There's another question here, Bu Afria. It's a question from Vita Amamatuate. She is from Widya Dharma University, Pontianak. Hi, Vita. I have some question. Where did you find the books? Have you ever used online book for reading? Is there any link that we can use to find literary book that's suitable for us or for the first? Wait a minute. Okay, yep.
Yeah, you can find through the ebook, or you can just ask your students. I usually ask the student what kind of reading text that they have, and ebook is also good. That it has many choice. It has many choice for you to choose. So I usually search from the ebook, and also I ask students to bring novel that they have.
Okay. Is that all, Bu Afria?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move on to the next question.
How many questions are there?
One more question. Is that okay with you?
Okay. Sorry for
All right.
asking.
One more question, yeah. All right. This is from Henny Oktarina. She asks, is it possible if we give different topic for each student group, and how to deal with students?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Sorry?
From Good Morning Ibu Dian, I'm Henny from Bali. Is it possible if we give different topic for each student group?
Okay.
Last question for you, Bu Afria.
All right. What we have done in my class is we discuss on the same topic, the same chapter. So when they have finished the discussion, each chapter, we we'll back to the main room and we discuss it together with the whole class, not only in a group, because we have done in a group, in a small group discussion, and we go to the wide group discussion with the lecturer, and we synchronize our understanding. We give any idea like how can it be like this, how can it be like that, and how is your understanding, why do you say so. We conclude in the end. So first we give them the same subject because the same chapter.
All right. Thank you so much,
Is it
Bu
clear?
Afria. Yeah. All right. I think that's the last question for you, Bu Afria. Thank you so much for delivering the presentation. Yep. Okay. And then see you again, Bu Afria, in the next occasion. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right.
Stay
Thank you
healthy,
very
Bu.
much. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. All right. Next, the second speaker who is going to share her experience in teaching literature is Ibu Tias, Ibu Purwaning Tias. How are you, Bu Tias?
Good, thank you.
All right, Bu Tias. I'm going to read your short biography first before you start your presentation. Ibu Purwanti Kusumaning Tias is a lecturer at the English Literature Department, Faculty of Language and Art, Satya Wacana Christian University, Salatiga. Her research interests include diaspora studies, comparative literature, and multiculturalism. Her latest article, The Chinese Diaspora's Imaginary Homeland, in the novels by 4 Chinese American and Chinese Indonesian writers that she co-authored with Dr. James Cohen from Northern Illinois University, is published in Diaspora Studies, Volume 13, Number 2, July 2020. She is also writing poetry and short stories, and her latest publication is a poetry anthology, Sponge of Transcendence. It is published by Satya Wacana Christian University in 2018, that she co-authored with a number of young poets. She is also a co-founder of Poetry Planet, an international community of creative workers and scholars. Wow, how impressive, Ibu Tias. All right, and Bu Tias is going to deliver a presentation entitled Channeling Students to Literary Society, a Blessing in Disguise of the Online Environment. Okay, Bu Tias, time is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Saras. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah, I can hear it clearly.
Okay, good. Because it's raining here in Salatiga,
Oh,
so
okay,
sometimes when the weather is like this, then connection might be a problem. But I hope it will look fine. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity given to me to share my experience and thought this morning. This is my first experience joining this. I hope that we can share more about teaching literature in online class environment or other teaching activities in this online environment. I entitled this presentation, Channeling Students to Literary Society, a Blessing in Disguise of the Online Environment. These pandemic circumstances have speeded the shaping of online environment and pushed us to change our type of social interactions. Synchronous meetings substitute real meetings. And the alteration of meeting mode, they have increased our fatigue and stress because we cannot see people in person. Online interactions limit the possibilities of real social interactions. Such changes may interfere with classroom activities because of the absence of, for instance, gestures, movements around the class, and one-to-one conversation with individual students. Teachers will only see the students' faces that are framed within the square limit of the screen. And at the same time, a number of students' faces are visible in rows of boxes like a set of chocolate bars. We have been bombarded with complaints about the limited data and internet connections that do not only hinder but also frustrate teacher-students used to be smooth interactions. So, as I was talking in front of the rectangular screen, I asked myself, what opportunities can education get from such limited and challenging online circumstances? Despite the technical problems above, virtual world provides us with a lot easier access to information. Social media enables us to keep socializing and networking with friends, colleagues, acquaintances, communities, organizations, etc. Moreover, more and more events are conducted online too. That means that they provide alternatives for literature teaching. So my experience in handling these 3 classes online last semester helps me realize that shifting perspective helps us see the matters differently. I started to see opportunities amidst the challenges. Social media spread the news and information about literary events much easily. Last semester, those were only a few of the flyers to invite people to come to festivals and webinars. There are more than 100 sessions in Jakarta Content Week and the annual event Borobudur Writers and Cultural Festival. Universities and institutions also held various free webinars about literature, books, arts, methods, and culture. Research methods, I mean. They invited speakers to speak about their expertise, and we did not need to travel away or spend a lot of money to attend the events. In addition to that, more and more organizations and communities offer their online platforms for publication. Take Poetry Planet, for example, and Generasi Pintar, for example. Poetry Planet, within which I co-author its establishment, publishes poems and any creative works in its Instagram account. One of the activities that Generasi Pintar, under its program Peduli, was an online writing workshop and mentoring. They show that there are a lot of opportunities to help with teaching literature. The questions are, what can we do to make use of the opportunities? And what are the advantages of doing those activities? So I gave my students 2 kinds of assignments to make use of the opportunities. I assigned them to attend free webinars and to write a commentary essay for each event they attend. The papers were submitted as a part of their weekly journals. And then, for their final assignment, I gave them writing challenges. I assigned my students to attend different sessions in Jakarta Content Week, and I recommended them the most relevant sessions to classes, such as talks on Indonesian literature that suits my Indonesian literature class, as well as discussions with the authors and talks about various kinds of creative industry. They were also allowed to choose any sessions that interested them. Some of the students attended sessions on food industry, book business, and entertainment industry. The sessions gave the students a chance to meet inspiring young people. I also assigned my students to attend the session with the publisher in Borobudur Writers and Cultural Festival last year to listen to Dalang Publishing team. The students also had opportunities to attend different seminars held by different universities and institutions. And then they would write a report or a commentary essay for each session that they attended, and the papers were submitted as a part of their weekly journals. My students and I attended those webinars, and we had opportunities to listen to experts and ask them questions. We met literary figures. For example, in LitFest, they listened to authors, writers, literary critics, translators, publishers, and journalists. I can click this later for to show the influential figures that we met in the sessions. LitBeat, for example, also invited important and influential figures such as filmmakers, musicians, artists, and many more to speak about their works and expertise. In Borobudur Writers and Cultural Festivals, Meet the Publisher, we had the opportunity to talk and discuss with Liang Dong, the founder of Dalang Publishing, which is based in San Francisco, California, Junaidi Setiono, a novelist, and Wijati Harginingtyas, as well as Oni Suryaman, two of Dalang's translators. And for the final assignment, I gave them 2 writing challenges. Writing challenge 1 is based on what I happen to get, based on the information I happen to get about the open selection for young people to join a writing workshop. This event was held by Generasi Pintar. You can check in its Instagram here. And that program offers the opportunity for the students to get supervised and guided by a professional writer. It required the participants to do simple research about minorities in Indonesia and write about the issues. So I assigned my research method students to send their essay drafts for the selection, and the organization selected the participants, and 5 of my research method students were selected to join the workshop. They had to follow the whole process of writing workshop, write articles for publication, and those 5 students, together with the other approximately 25 participants of the program, finished their articles in early January 2021. And at present, their works are still in process of publication. The second writing challenge was microblog challenge. What is a microblog? It is a way of delivering thoughts and information in a concise way, which is less than 500 words, to post in Instagram platform. It is preferable today because it provides short but meaningful information that readers can read quickly. So I challenged my students of all classes, except those passing LR selection, to make microblogs and post them in their Instagrams. The students had to consult their microblog content draft before developing the microblog designs and uploading them. So I helped them with the process, the preparation process of the microblog writing and designing. Actually, they designed themselves. I helped with the content and with the language. I cooperated with Poetry Planet team, editorial team, for this challenge, and the editorial team agreed to review and select my students' microblog post to be reposted in Poetry Planet Instagram. The students whose work were selected received input for improvement from the editorial team. So I let them work with the editorial team. They had to edit their works to make them eligible for publication in the Instagram platform of the community. Again, I assisted the students to edit their works during the consultation with the reviewers from the institution. These are samples of the students' microblogs that were reposted in Poetry Planet Instagram. This one, Delilah, is a microblog in the form of a poem because the student is from my research method for creative writing class, and he produced a poem to be put in a microblog, and this one is selected to be reposted in the organization, in the community's Instagram platform. The other one is a short analysis of a book from my world literature and multicultural perspective class. The students wrote a short essay analyzing the book and posted in the microblog, and it is selected for publication in the Instagram platform. Those two kinds of activities give the students benefits, and here is the list of benefits that the students mentioned in their evaluation sheets for my classes. They were happy and excited about the webinars and for a number of reasons. So first, the events gave them opportunities to meet and learn from the experts and other literary scholars. And also they were able to give comments about the issues discussed in the webinars, broaden their knowledge, and get new insights. From my own perspective, these webinars had provided a space for students and teachers to be together in the same seminar room, learning together from the session, something which was hard to do in the real seminar context and the offline context, because real seminar would require people to travel and spend more money to join. So we had a good time together with experts in those webinar sessions. For the writing challenges, the students found the challenges beneficial in a number of ways. They could push themselves to read more, broaden their knowledge, improve their creativity, improve their writing and editing skills, increase their confidence to publish their works, raise their social awareness, and enhance their time management as well as research skills. So, however, we have to be aware that there are significant problems related with this activity in publishing their writings in social media. A number of students felt insecure and inconfident to post their works in Instagram because they were afraid of being bullied. They should get better attention from us educators to raise awareness of cyberbullying and also empower our students against bullying. But I think this issue can be a research topic for further investigation. My students recommended that those assignments should be given to the other classes because of those benefits. And they admitted that the assignments require hard work, yet they were worth doing. And they were happy to meet more people in literary society. With that said, I would like to highlight 4 things for us teachers to do. We need to build better and more networks in order to grab more opportunities. in this online environment. Networking and being active in such communities relevant to our fields will help us upgrade our capacity. And the students will benefit more from teachers who are also learners. It is important for us to introduce our students to the wider literary community outside the classroom and even outside the campus, as they will meet more literature people who can be their teachers out there. And when we trust our students to explore in various events, they will learn more, and eventually they will be parts of our networks. This makes teacher-student cooperation matter, as it builds constructive communities. We need to help our students to help ourselves. So in conclusion, the benefits of this online environment can outweigh the challenges when we look at it from different perspectives. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Ibu Tias, for your engaging presentation. I do agree with you when you say that this online environment class is a blessing in disguise. And I think you have done a very brilliant work with your class.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Butias, once again. And then we're going to continue with the next presentation from our speaker, as we have time limitation here. So let's move on to the second speaker's presentation, the third speaker's presentation. I apologize. Ibu Ika. Hello, Ibu Ika.
Hello, Ibu Saras.
Right. Are you ready to deliver your presentation?
Yes, thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Okay.
But before you start your presentation, allow me to read your short biography, Ibu Ika.
Okay.
Right. Ibu Maria Vincentia Eka Mulatsih has been teaching some courses on literature, such as Introduction to Literature, Prose in English Language Teaching, Drama, Poetry, and Play Performance at Sanata Dharma University since 2015. She graduated from Gajah Mada University, majoring in literature for her bachelor and master degrees. And you can contact her at mv_ika@usd.ac.id. Is that correct, Bu Ika?
Yes.
Yep, and then Bu Ika here is going to deliver her presentation entitled Drama Course 3Cs, Effort to Achieve Its Competence, Conscience, Compassion. Bu Ika, time is yours.
Thank you so much, Ibu Saras. Okay, so thank you. You called me Ika. Yeah, usually people call me Maria. Thank you so much, Bu Saras. Okay, good morning, the committee, other distinguished speakers, Putias, Bu Hilaria, Bu Afria, and Bu Kiatmi, and all participants who love the fields of education and literature. I do hope that we are all in a good condition and we stay healthy and happy. Before I share with you my experience in teaching literature in online class environment, I would like to express my gratitude to the committee, Ibu Dita, Ibu Nunu, Pak Nunu, Ibu Ririn for arranging this webinar well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the committee have been working so hard so that both speakers and participants can achieve some insights for various themes and presentations. Well, the title of my presentation is Drama Course 3Cs, Effort to Achieve Its Competence, Conscience, and Compassion. I chose drama because this course is quite challenging for me. If I compare it to other courses such as Introduction to Literature or Prose in ELT, this drama course is more difficult than those courses. And students who are in their 3rd year are allowed to take this course. So I usually call my students my partners. So my partners are mature enough. Yes, despite of the difficulties, I believe that we can face those challenges and change them into opportunities to grow together with our beloved students. Well, I'm sure that some of you are not familiar with the terms that I propose: competence, conscience, and compassion. Okay, so in Sanatarama University, we have 3 main values which are called competence, conscience, and compassion. Well, competence is quite popular. It deals with our ability to understand the knowledge in this case, because we have drama course, so the knowledge to understand drama. And conscience means knowing ourselves so that we can improve to be a better person, so we know the right thing to do. And then compassion relates to helping others, or the ability to be able to work in a team. Okay, as you can see here on the screen, so this drama course has some goals in 3 categories. The first, competence. By the end of this course, students were expected to be able to analyze the intrinsic and extrinsic aspects of drama scripts, and then to draw the meanings of the work. And then the second, the students were able to write or adapt a 1-act drama script. And then the conscience here, foster autonomy and responsibility in working on every reading and analyzing task. And then the second one is develop honesty in writing or literary analysis. So we avoid plagiarism. And then compassion, so empathic understanding for others in a team and respect for humanity. So effort to achieve those 3 values. Okay, so during this presentation, I would like to divide it into 2 big parts. The first part here, as you can see, contains the challenges and opportunities to achieve 3 Cs in the first half semester. So I will share with you my experience from the first meeting up to the midterm test. So meeting 1 up to meeting 7. And then the second part consists of challenges and opportunities to achieve 3 Cs in the second half semester. So from meeting 8 up to meeting 16. Okay, we can take a look at the slide. Okay, we had some topics as our plans here, which had been discussed before with the lecturers team, right? Who taught this course. And then the first meeting up to our second meeting ran well. So we had our course orientation or introduction, course outline, and we have discussed our favorite drama too. Then we reviewed definition, kinds, and elements of drama, including the differences of drama, the differences between drama and movie. In the third meeting, we began our discussion about Oedipus, a classic play. First, we divided the class into several groups, and then for dramatic reading, we spent 4 meetings for this classic play. So we didn't discuss the history and development of drama like our plan, like in the third meeting, this one. And quiz 1 that should have been done in our 4th meeting was cancelled because I knew that students didn't fully understand this play. Week 6 that was intended to review and study for our midterm test was still spent for our discussion, especially the summary here, summary and quizzes. So the quizzes was a kind of, a replacement test for our quiz that should have been conducted in 4th meeting. Okay. So I can sincerely share with you this one because I think it's okay not to be okay. Yeah, yeah. It is true that sometimes our plan do not work well, but the effort to help our students to understand the materials, to discuss this more deeply, and to relate it with our life matters. So the effort matters. Yeah. Okay. Here, if I may sum them up, so we face some challenges in relation to the competence here. So number 1, Oedipus is a classic play, and my students found it difficult to understand the language. They are not from English letter, so they are studying in English language education study program. So in the future, they can be, English teachers. And the language of this play was so difficult for them. And then number two, the second challenge, we had online learning. And as we know, this online learning is so different from our previous learning, method. I think Putias has mentioned before this, right? And when I had offline learning like that, I could meet each other. And then back then in 2019, we had dramatic reading directly. And in one meeting, we could have 4 groups. And then after a group's reading session, I would ask some guided questions for discussion so I could know that the students directly understood it or not. Well, this online learning was challenging since I could not observe them directly nor explain every detail of Oedipus scene. Last was that students needed more time to understand the play. So as I told you before, that we spent 4 weeks for this play. A reminder for us that actually we had to achieve our goals, which were to make students understand the play and get some values from it. Okay, so what did we do? Okay, so we tried and we tried and we tried together to achieve our goal. So togetherness is also important. So we divided the class into some groups for our dramatic reading. And then students were free to choose the members of their group. And they were fully committed, especially for the job description. It related to their conscience when they know the right thing to do. So, and then the second one, this dramatic reading in groups also fostered their compassion for helping others who didn't have the group. Some students allowed a friend to be the member of their group. Students also tried together in a group to understand the part that they read independently. So here, the independent reading related to their competence here. After they recorded their videos, like they submitted their link, okay, in our WhatsApp group, and then I use their recorded meeting in a group to explain every detail. So I use that, and then I recorded my explanation also, and we have new link. And then after that, I shared with them in WhatsApp group their video together with my explanation. So wait, did students directly understand? Can you guess the answer? Yes or no? What do you think? Any volunteer? Yes or no? Anyone?
No, Bu.
Oh yeah, you're right, Sarah. Yes, the answer is the students directly understand. No, but we tried together, like our togetherness. We didn't give up. We tried and tried and tried, and I provided some slides for its summary and plot. And we played quizzes together also. So I think what is said, our effort to achieve our goals together matters, as I told you before. And this one is our discussion. So they began to understand, and then they could connect the play, some moral values with their life. So for example, for our midterm test one, a paper, they have to create a paper, and also I provided some multiple choices. Like I'm going to write the moral lesson, like that, the moral lesson. And then the second friend, I want to discuss the symbols of Oedipus Rex, and then this one is a kind of play, like quite dark, like that. So they were free to choose the thing or the part that they really like. They really liked it. And then this is the what is the result of our quizzes. So congratulations, our top 10, and they congratulated each other. And then we had fun like that, yeah. And then this one, the second picture, this is the what is it, the result that they were able to connect the play with their life. So it's about the power of decision for one friend here. And the second friend is shouldn't be afraid of something that hasn't happened yet like that. And then our relationship with our family, because Oedipus also has, you know, the family content like that. And then blindness. So it's not only about physical blindness, but non-physical blindness. We had that discussion also. And then our family again, yeah, Fight Destiny and Ezra. And this is the second one because I had two classes, drama C and drama D. And then this is from drama C. So not to judge others. And then believe the things, they do not agree, like prophet like that. And control emotion, like Oedipus is so, you know, arrogant. He couldn't control his emotion, yeah. So he is so proud of himself like that. Yeah, we had that discussion also. So I think we could change those challenges into opportunities. Like students had a chance to collaborate and help each other in their group, as I mentioned before. And some students recorded the dramatic reading in group more than once. So I really appreciated their effort. It led to their better understanding of this play. And students had their own independency to choose the part that they want to analyze more deeply. It was based on their interests. So I think they discussed the part that they really loved. And then students could appreciate others' friends' effort and choose the best actor or actress, because when we had dramatic reading, like they also watch other friends, video, and then they had their own best actor or actress. And students could relate some parallels from the play to their lives. I think the evidence are clear. Right. So the last, we had fun because of those activities. Okay, move to the second part. So this is meeting 8 up to meeting 16. Well, as you can see, the topics and also the reality are so different. So we should have analyze class managery and also Athanasian market, the chosen place. But because we haven't discussed history of dramatic movements and theater, especially the modern ones, so we discussed it in 8 meeting. Yeah, and then after that, I do agree, absolutely agree with Bhutia's statement that actually we have to give a chance or opportunity for students to attend seminars or a conference. So here on 30th October 2020, our study program had a big event, international conference, language and language teaching conference that was held by ELSP study program, so our study program. And every student, had to join that conference as a participant. So it's so beneficial for them because they could improve their English skills and also broaden their knowledge, right? Bhutias has mentioned before, right? And then they could learn a lot from this event. So, but on one hand, we got a lot of advantages, yes. On the other hand, well, I got 7 meetings, but then it was reduced for that conference, so 6 meetings only. So very limited time. So week 10 and week 10, so I gave them 3 options, whether they wanted to analyze class managery or Athanasian market or one play that they chose it by themselves. So why? Because what is it? Freedom is cool, and we have discussed that before. And then one meeting for what is the discussion about the progress, and then they submitted on 20th November 2020, and then after that we tried our best to achieve our second goal, that is to be able to write or adapt a 1X script. So this is the summary of the challenges. We had very limited time to discuss two chosen plays, glass menagerie and at a nation market. We needed to achieve our final goal, that was to write 1X script. And then 7 meetings that we had were just for attending our annual international conference. So total we only had 6 meetings to achieve 2 goals. So, but those challenges didn't stop us to achieve more than our ordinary goals. I had 2 classes and the students were so communicative and open-minded. We were together in critical listening and speaking class, and we agreed that we will strive for the excellence. So we would achieve more than that. Lucky me, because my partners or my students were awesome like that. Yes. And then I motivate them all the time. So like this, do not study because you need to. Don't study if you have to study. No, study because knowledge is power. Study because they can never take it away from you. Study because you want to know more. Study because it enhances you, and study because it grows you. The responses were so good. They really liked it, and some friends, they used this for their WhatsApp status. I was so happy back then. I'm still happy right now like that. And I think creating a democratic class is needed also. Based on my experience, the discussion is good. I think Bu Afria also has mentioned about the discussion, choosing the right materials and etc. And then I trust my students, I trust my partners that they do their best. And then let them discuss and decide. So because we are only facilitators for them, so just triggered, like we triggered them to develop their ability. So after analyzing a play that they chose by themselves, we agreed to create a book, a compilation of our scripts. So they wrote the script in groups, and then after that, we compile it into a book. Yes. So this is our activities and discussion here. The first picture here is the deadline. So I didn't give them the deadline, or I didn't set the deadline for them. But one of them proposed the deadline. For example, if we use 2-2, it becomes like this: writing the script December 4th, editing 18, layouting 18. So we divided the groups into several. We divided the class into several groups: the editors, the layouters, the designers, the playwrights, like that. And then I just wanna I just wanted to ask, how guys, do you agree? And then they said, couldn't agree more. Looks cool, miss. Okay, miss. And then one more problem. By the way, layouting will need our result from editors. So, and then they could face that problem. They could solve that problem. Maybe we can find one more editor, miss. So this is improve their critical thinking, also how to solve the problem, etc. And then this one from Drama D. So I asked the title of the book, and then one of our friends, proposed plot, the never endings, and then agreements. I like this idea, that, and then this one is the cover of the book. So they created by themselves, and then from the designers group, and then they wanted to have a quote, right, the back part of the book, like that. So yeah. I think not only opportunities, I think we took some benefits from our activities like that. So we can have students, we can have lectures, and we can also have the study program by doing these activities. The first is for students. I think these activities have improved their efficacy and also creativity, yes, clear, and they gain their own confidence, yes. And then this book could be their experience to be included in their CV. So when they want to apply a job in the future, so they can have this, and then yeah, I'm a playwright like that. Oh my god, so cool, right? And for the lecture also, I took some benefits. One of them, so I could be one. What is that? I could be one of the editors. So I know that some of you know it, but what is it? We could get credit from that. And then from study program, I think it's clear that we, what is that, have national accreditation or international accreditation, and these book can be used for our accreditation, because one of the points that we should have is about students' creativity, you know, the where students can publish their work, etc. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank you, express my gratitude for my partners, C and D class, drama class, for our struggle to achieve more than our ordinary goals. I think that's all. Thank you so much. Stay healthy and happy, everyone. And back again, Ibu Saras. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Bu Ika. It was such an inspiring presentation. So I can see that I think teacher and student can achieve the class goal as there are strong commitment and hard work involved. In this case, teacher should always motivate his or her students so that every student participate actively and thinks that it is their responsibility to make the goal come true. I think it's what you have done in your class, Bu Ika. Thank you once again, Bu Ika. Now, let's move on to the next presenter. I want to greet Ibu Giatmi. Hi, Ibu Giatmi.
Okay.
Right, are you ready to present your material?
Let me share my screen first.
Yeah, but before that, allow me to read your short biography, Ibu Giatmi. So her full name is Giatmi, but her friends often call her Jimmy. Jimmy. It is taken from the first and last syllable of her name. So may I call you Bu Jimmy? Then Bu Giatmi. All right. She was graduated from Muhammadiyah University in English department for bachelor degree and Gajah Mada University for her master degree majoring in linguistics. She has been teaching literature courses such as Introduction to Literature and Prose in English department of Veteran Bangun Nusantara University. All right, Bu Jimmy here is going to deliver a presentation entitled When a Novel and a Movie Meet in a Virtual Classroom. Bu Jimmy, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibu Saraswati. Okay, first of all, let me get your notification. Can Bapak Ibu hear my voice? Bisa ya?
Yep, we can hear your voice clearly.
Yes, Bu. Okay. So, Bapak Ibu, let me start. So, as Bu Saraswati informed that today I'm going to deliver my presentation. It is when a novel and movie meet in a virtual classroom. And first, let me start my presentation from the breaking news. Maybe this is the breaking news that made our heart broken. Yeah. On the 2nd of March 2020, officially President Joko Widodo announced that there were 2 Indonesians infected with coronavirus, and this announcement brought many consequences in the life of Indonesia, and one of them is in education. And in the education sector, this announcement was responded by what we call here issuing the policy of learning from home. And learning from home means that we cannot teach our students face-to-face in the class. So it means we have to teach them online. And for me, the speakers, the policy of having learning, online learning, it gave me such kind of therapeutic shocking. What we call shocked and confused. Yeah. Because to be honest, I never had an online learning before. Yeah. And when the online learning policy came to my university, there are several things crossed in my mind. Yeah. First is what kind of platform I'm going to use. Yeah. And we know that there are many platforms offered. Maybe we are familiar with Edmodo and then Moodle, Canvas or Google Class, and we also have Sakai. But actually, our university have already had Sparta, but unfortunately, in the beginning of the pandemic, we just get introduced to Sparta. And for me myself, I think I have no what we call here capability in. I have not a master Sparta system yet, so I decided to use another platform. And then finally, I decided to use Google Classroom. And before deciding to use Google Classroom, I asked my student what kind of platform the other teacher has used for their classroom. And my student informed me that they use Google Classroom. So I think by using the same platform, it will not necessary for my student to install new platform for my online learning. And then the next thing crossing my mind is, what is my goal? Okay. Prepare the material, yeah, because maybe it's a bit difficult. We usually teaching face to face, and we have no problem with preparing material, but maybe preparing material for online learning is quite troublesome sometimes. Yeah. But fortunately, I have compiled some materials that I usually use before teaching online. So before the teaching online, I have compiled some material from Google, YouTube, and then that I usually share with my student, even it's just via WhatsApp group. And then the next thing that crossed in my mind also is about the internet connection. Yeah. So after the online learning policy comes, I finally realized how much I love Wi-Fi connection, yeah, because we need them a lot to get connected with the student. Okay, and what I'm going to share here is I'm going to share my experience on teaching one of literary courses given to the students in my university in English department. Yeah. It is basic prosaic study. As just for the information, we are from teacher training and education faculty, but we also give the student 3 courses on literature. First is introduction to literature, and then the second one is basic prosaic studies, what I'm going to share today. And then the third is basic drama study. And what I'm going to share today is teaching basic prosaic study online. Yeah. So what is basic prosaic studies about? Yeah. It is one, as I told you, this is one of literary courses given to the student of the 4th semester student. Yeah, the 4th semester. So the courses is given to the 4th semester students, and it has 2 credits. And before taking the basic prosaic studies, the student have to take introduction to literature first. And as we all know, basic prosaic studies usually talks a lot about literary criticism. So we are talking about sociological approach, and then we also talk about Marxist, feminist, and then a psychological approach. But in this basic prosaic studies, I also give material on screenification. And what I'm going to share today is my teaching on screenification via in the virtual environment. So what is screenification? Yeah, screenification, or in bahasa it is called ekranisasi, or sometimes it is called literary transformation. Basically, it is the transformation from one literary work to another literary work, and it is usually from novel into a movie. Yeah. And in the screen, we can see that there are several pictures. The top row, it is the novel version, yeah, and then the bottom row is the movie version. On the first, on the first we have Emma from Jane Austen, and then the below one is Emma movie version, and then Jane Eyre, the novel version, and the next is Jane Eyre, the movie version, and the last one is Scarlet Letter from Nathaniel Hawthorne, the novel version, and the last one is the movie version. And when the novel is changed or transformed into movie, there must be difference because both movie and novel are totally different literary work. Okay, and then move to process of screenification. Yeah, Erneste mentioned that there are three process of screenification. First is addition, and then deletion, sorting, and then we also have variation. Deletion is when what is not written on the novel is shown in the movie, and for deletion, it is when what is written on the novel cannot be shown in the movie, and variation happen when there is a modification between the novel and the movie version. And before we find what is the deletion, what is the addition, and then what is the variation, it is very helpful for us to know about intrinsic elements of both literary work, novel, and the movie version. And the students have already learned about intrinsic elements when they were studying on introduction to literature. And then, okay, what did I do in the screenification? In my screenification, so I used to literary work, of course. First is for the novel, I use Laura Ingalls Wilder's works from Little House Books. There are 9 books actually, but I only use one. The book number 4, it is On the Banks of the Palm Creeks. Let me show you here. Okay, so for the books, I use the fourth book, On the Bank of the Palm Creeks. Yeah, instead of using the whole chapters, I only use 2 chapters of it, and it is Town Party and Country Party. And for the movie, I use the miniseries of Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, maybe for the 70s or 80s generation, we are familiar with this this miniseries because it is shown on TVOI every Sunday afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. And I only use the Little House in the Prairie season 1, episode 7, with the same title, Town Party and Country Party. And then, how did I teach screenification? So, I just, for your information, I just use Google Classroom. So I have no Zoom meeting or Google Meet because in that a year ago, I still have no idea about, teaching online. So I just use the platform I mastered. And so I just share my material on the Google Classroom, and then I announce the student that we are going to have a discussion on the TV schedule. But I think it is not so effective because sometimes it's like one-way communication. The connection problems can be the reason why it is not effective. And then I try something new, at least something new for me. Yeah. So I try to use Bitmoji Classroom. So I got the idea about Bitmoji Classroom when I joined a seminar, a webinar, just a webinar like this. So the presenter that time share her experience of teaching her students in the pandemic time using Bitmoji Classroom. And then I think it's quite interesting. So I found some tutorial because I don't have any idea about virtual Bitmoji Classroom. So I found some tutorial on YouTube how to create Google Bitmoji Classroom. Yeah. Then after I get the trick, and then I create my own Google class, my own Bitmoji Classroom. So Bitmoji Classroom is a virtual classroom that we can create by using Google Slide. And you know that Google Room in Google Slide is integrated each other, so there is no problem if we use Bitmoji Classroom in a Google Classroom. So the below one is the example of Bitmoji Classroom. So Bitmoji Classroom is this is the Bitmoji Classroom, and the Bitmoji Classroom includes the Bitmoji itself. Bitmoji means the personalized emoji or emoticon. So usually Bitmoji should be physically look like or resembles to the teacher or to the creator of the Bitmoji Classroom. And then in the Bitmoji Classroom, we can what we call here put some pictures. Like so, we design our classroom, yeah, and then and the most important thing on the Bitmoji Classroom, we can we call it insert some link that the student can get access to the material we share. Okay, and this is my Google my Bitmoji Classroom. So instead of using design of my classroom, I use design of usual room. Yeah, so this is a room in a house, a room in our house. Yeah, so this is my imagination of a room where I can spend my relaxed time. So I can watch the movie or read the novel, something like that. Yeah, so I just create a room, and then I put the window with a wide open with sea view there, and then I put the whiteboard here. So I wrote some instructions for my student that they have to follow in this virtual classroom. And then the first is click the bookshelf to read the short story, that's the instruction. And then the second is click the television to watch the movie, and then click the coach, oh my God, to find the exercise. And then I put the bookshelf here. And I also put the picture of television, wireless television actually. And then I also put some quotes here. And this is Winnie the Pooh. So actually this is not fully Bitmoji Classroom because I don't present my Bitmoji. So I just put Winnie the Pooh here as my favorite cartoon character, as my Bitmoji. And then I also put the picture of image of cup of hot chocolate and some cupcakes here. So I think it's a very ideal room where we can watch movie or read novel accompanied by hot chocolate and cupcakes and something like that. And then I share this in my Google Class. So like this. So when the student click I have mentioned before that on the whiteboard there are some instructions. So on the there are 3 instructions there. And first is click the bookshelf to read the short story. So when the student click the bookshelf picture, they will connect it to the short story. And then when they click this one, they will be able to read the short story. And then the next is the literary. Oh, I missed one slide. This is a literary transformation assignment. Where's the television? TV-nya kok nggak ada? Okay, so this one. So when the student click the television, they will connect it to the YouTube channel playing the miniseries. And unfortunately, the last time I checked the YouTube channel, the video on the YouTube channel has been taken down. But the good news is I have downloaded the video a year ago, so it's saved in my PC. Okay, and then the last is when they click the code, you will find a literary transformation assignment. So after they watch the movie and read the story, they will get what they want. Student always wants assignment. So I get the assignment on a hot sheet. And then this is the process of screenification on town party and country party. So from the edition, there are edition on characters. There are Nordstorm family, and there is also an edition on storyline. There is a story of Olga and her family. She is quite friendly girl from Laura's school and was born with a birth defect causing her left leg to be shorter than the other. So this story become the central of the story in the movie. Yeah. And then while on the novel, we cannot find such kind of story. And then that's for the edition. And then the deletion. There are also deletion on character. So on a movie, we can find Maud, character name Maud, but we cannot find it in the movie. And then on the novel, there is a part where Mrs. Olsen gave Laura books, mother books, but it does not shown in the movie. So there is deletion. And the last one is variation. This is the variation. The story in the novel, the story begins by describing Laura and Mary present people going to Nelly's party. So town party belongs to Nelly. And then in the movie, the story begins by showing the children playing in the schoolyard. And then Mrs. Olsen, Nelly's mother, is characterized as a nice mannered person. However, in the movie, characterized as bad mannered person and a little bit cruel sometimes. And on the novel, Nelly is scared by leech or bloodsucker that stick on her skin. However, on the movie, Nelly is frightened by the crab. And then the children on the novel, the children play in the green garden, belongs to English family, and then they play on the Palm Creek. This is a small river, a small stream, and then Laura also shows them with the chips in the haystack, but we cannot find this. On the movie, the children play baseball in front of Laura's house and Palm Creek when they have a country party. So country party belongs to Laura and Mary's party. And this one. Yeah. So when back to the literary transformation assignment, I asked the student to have a group work of 3, but they have to submit the result individually. And There is an example of the student's work, yeah, for modification. And then this one, another example. Yeah, so addition, we conclude that in the film, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then, okay. Well, 21 slides, but it ran fast. Okay, thank you. I think that's all for me.
Thank you so much,
If
Bu
time
Jimmy.
itu Saraswati, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Jimmy. It was such an intriguing presentation. And then I'm sure that I agree with you. I also think that millennial students prefer to watch movie more rather than reading novel, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a good idea to bring movies into our classroom.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Jimmy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our last but not least speaker. Bu Hilaria Dewi Hapsari, how are you?
Great.
Okay. Are you ready to deliver your presentation, Bu Hilaria?
Yes, I have to.
Okay. But before you start your presentation, let me read your short biography. Okay. Where is it? Bu Hilaria graduated from English Department of Sanata Dharma University in 1998. She pursued her master in graduate program of literature in Sanata Dharma University as well, and finished her study in 2010. She has been one of the teaching staff since 2000 and the Deputy Director for Student Affairs since 2016 at LIA School of Foreign Languages, Yogyakarta. Today, she will deliver her presentation entitled Creating a Culture of Student Reflection Through the Study of Message in Drama Class. All right, Bu Hilaria, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Bu Saras. Wait. Wait. Okay, so thank you, Bu Sarah. Since the committee asked me to cut my presentation, so I will like to deliver a very quick presentation. Yeah, so the title of my topic is about creating a culture of student reflection through the study of messages in drama class. It's quite similar to what Ibu Maria presented, yeah, previously, maybe because we have similar names. Yeah, and in this pandemic era, I believe that we have challenges and also opportunities, yeah, to apply the 21st century classroom, because in this pandemic era, we can develop the skills that the student need in the workplace, and then we can also develop the higher order thinking skills, so not only describe and also understand, but also analyze, evaluate, and create, having effective communication skills and knowledge of technology. And of course, it includes student projects, presentation, and other performance-based assessments.
Yeah.
As my topic is about creating a culture of student reflection through the study of messages in drama class, I would like to say a bit about this one, that literary works announce fundamental life experiences which are available for the readers to interpret and to be used as a means of reflection to their own lived experience. And according to Menon, through a good literary work, we are given the chance of living through an experience that provides us with the opportunity of gaining insight into certain aspects of the human condition. So my student and our students, I believe, will study only about intrinsic and extrinsic elements of the study, but they need to have reflection toward their own life, then gain insight into certain aspects of their human condition, and then in the end, they can be better human beings. According to Hussein and Amami in their research, narrowing the distance between students and the text by relating the themes and the characters of the literary work to the students' personal experiences, and by making students read independently were found to be the most important practices to help students read, enjoy, and comprehend literature. In this online classes, they do have time to study and work independently, but we need to find better and interesting ways to relate the text to the students' personal experiences. These are the things that we need to study in the class. Yeah, and then, but I would like only to focus on the messages. Yeah, and then how did I do that? I use worksheets uploaded on Google Classroom. So I use several worksheets. They need to fill the worksheet, and then they need to upload. They needed to upload on Google Classroom and discuss the play and interesting, hopefully, and then discuss the messages in particular thoroughly into meetings, and then provide the YouTube videos of the play, yeah, so that they can have better understanding of the play, and then use interactive pictures representing the messages that we can easily get from Google. And then it's quite important, be an enthusiastic teacher. Because if we cannot be enthusiastic teacher, that we cannot get across our messages or what the authors want to get across to the students, yeah, because we are not into it, yeah. So try the best we can to be enthusiastic teachers. And then I also gave a project, and then I asked my students to upload it on YouTube. Yeah, they need to set it on YouTube and then set it back to set the link to Google Classroom, and then I provided Zoom recording on Google Classroom so that they can watch and then study again and again on Google Classroom because they can watch the video. And then take time for questions inside and outside Google Class, the Zoom meeting and Google Classroom. These are the reflection questions for students, for my students. So I gave some questions that could lead to their reflection to the life that they have. These are the plays that I had. And then the first one is a marriage proposal by Anton Chekhov. It explores the process of getting married and could be read as satire on the upper middle class and relationship, and it conveyed successfully by emphasizing the couple's foolish arguments over small things and also making fun of romance and marriage. And then some of the messages. So every student could have a different interpretation, but this could be the possible message. We must marry for better reasons, not simply for improving our financial status or class. And marriage is not always romantic as what people think, but we can make it work if we Then now we come to the student. One of my students can see. The message of the story that I get is to forgive and forget. As we can see, they argued a lot about India, but in the end they make up as if their quarrels weren't that bad. We might apply it in our daily life. Sometimes we just need to let our thoughts out and take things easy. People do mistakes, we just need to forgive and forget for a more peaceful life. It's better said than done, right? So to forgive and to forget. But if after having the reflection, they can come to this understanding, then I'm beyond happy. I'm beyond glad because in the end, I believe that they can really forgive and forget, and for a more peaceful life, and we can have better life and be a better human beings. And this one is quoted from the play because I asked them to quote some word or phrases or sentences from the play. kindly refrain from insulting my family. And then one of my students stated, this sentence is my principle, so it impresses me so much. Just like Romo, who then feels okay to not proceed with the proposal and prefers to protect his family dignity, I will do the same thing as well. Family is number one on the list. It's very, it's kind of pathetic when I found out that few people find that that family is not number one anymore. A lot of family members even kill other family members, right? So it's kind of just nice or amazing to have my students having this kind of understanding, and then hopefully that they can apply it in their life. And then this one, yeah, so I asked my students to mention one of the characters that give the best impression. So one of my students stated that for me it is Natalia. The reason why I choose her, because her attitude that she couldn't let other people finish their words or hear what they say before giving response to it, that give me the strongest impression about her. She reminds me about myself, especially when I talk with my father. But even though we couldn't agree with something, thank God for my mother, the one who always helps me, and my father to figure out something and make it work. So my student, this particular student, could relate this the story to her life experience, and then I think it's incredible when she could realize that actually she had a very bad attitude toward her father, and then in the end she could be thankful not only to her father but also to her mother. And then the second play is The Case of the Crushed Petunias by Tennessee Williams. And this play shows a miserable life of Miss Dorothy Simple, who unconsciously barricades herself from the world through petunias. One of the characters, the young man, comes on a mission to allow Miss Simple to be miraculous accident of being alive. This is a quote from the play. Beautiful human alive, capable of thought and feeling and action. Now here comes the vital part of my question. What are you going to do about it? The message. I took this from the play when Miss Dorothy Simple is invited by the young man to cemetery. Why there? Why cemetery? And then the young man, because that people give the best advice. Advice on what? The problem of the living. What advice do they give? Just one word. Live. Live? Yes. Live, live, live. It's all they know. It's the only word left in their vocabulary. Basically, the main message of the play is about that you should live your life to the fullest. That you need to embrace your life. You need to use all opportunities that you have, and then you need to appreciate all moments right now, not in the past, not in the future, but right now. And I also provided some pictures related to the messages, yeah, and then I tried to find quotes related to messages that taken from the author. This one also, and this one also. And then this one is the reflection. The sentences of the young man do impress me a lot. It is such a reminder to me, calling me to take a deep breath and contemplation of what I have done so far. Reading the sentences make me ask the same question to myself. What have I done with myself? Have I optimized the use of God's gifts in me, in my life? Am I capable of thought and feeling and action? Have I used those things for good things to help people and to be good for myself? So to me, rather than reflect the sentences universally about human being, I prefer saying that the sentences of the young man really are a sudden awakening. Sudden awakening. It's a very strong word for me. And then it's kind of amazing that maybe not all students, but I need only one student to have this sudden awakening to not only to be inspired, but also to inspire others. One character that impresses me the most is the young man. It is because he portrays a nice, honest, and helpful person. In my daily life, I always try to understand the value of life in each person. I always want to be useful and helpful for others. Lastly, even though my character is not 100% the same with the young man, but I believe there are some of his values that I also have. This young man, this young one of my students, in the end could not only understand but really realize the values that he had at that time, and then maybe he also believed that he's nice, honest, and helpful. And I found this reflection, so-called reflection, in the question and comments on Google form that I set on my Google Classroom. To be honest, I do not really understand the meaning of the payment. Yeah. However, after being re-explained by you, it turns out that the drama has an implied meaning that is so meaningful and directly related to the reality of life. I think this drama is good to remind us that life should be enjoyed and also appreciated, as life is a gift given by God to us. Thank you. So incredible. The last play is Family 2.1 by Walter White. So a very short play, and it is a light comedy drama which illustrates an ungrateful man who wants a new life. He expects a happy life, but in the end, his new life is just the same to the old one, boring one. And then I provided some messages, yeah, and then in the form of pictures that I shared in my presentation in my Zoom meeting. And this one also, this one also. And it is taken from a quote said by Walter White, the author. The reflection, to be honest, this character slightly reminds me of myself. Sometimes I feel bored with my life and wonder why isn't my life as exciting as the others. Sometimes I wonder what if I were someone else who lives a different life which is more delightful and challenging. But then I remember that God brought me to this life for a certain reason, and I just need to find my own unique story. This beautiful young girl, yeah, could come to this understanding that God brought me to this life for a certain reason, and I just need to find my own unique story. I think this is quite positive and very beautiful and wonderful. Yeah, and I believe and I hope that my students can also have this kind of understanding and can really apply that kind of understanding in their life. It's very sad. It's like a slam in my face. I believe that this kind of word or sentence is important in our lives. Sometimes when we go too far, we need a reminder. We sometimes only appreciate something when we have lost it. When we had the chance, we didn't know what it meant. I hope never hear too late. You had the chance from someone. Well, it happens. Yeah, sometimes we do not know what we have until we lost it, right? So my student, I hope, stated, I hope I never hear too late. You had the chance from someone. I think this is quite nice, good, and very wonderful thing to have. And then this one, very long reflection. To me, the new husband is the most impressive one. It reminds me of myself. Although I hope I have not thought to step into the stranger's house, that is crazy and impolite, right? I sometimes get bored of my routine. I know that sometimes I wake up in the morning wishing I could live another life, the more interesting one. Sometimes I think my life is too boring and exhausting. I need a change, and I need a fresh air. Yet I come to an understanding that actually the key is in me. I have my own life, and I'm the one who can make it more interesting. I cannot blame anyone, as I cannot blame the life itself. I'm the real problem. My alter ego is the one I need to change. In the end, actually, every role in the world has its own responsibility and challenges to deal with. Having this reflection and understanding, after maybe the contemplation that my life is my responsibility. The key is in me. It's very difficult to do. We sometimes blame others, right? We sometimes blame the situation, and then this young a girl having this kind of understanding is kind of mind blowing. And I give this final test in a form of project. So I asked my students to act out some of the dialogues, and then can be individual project or group, because most of our students live not in Yogyakarta. And then I asked my student to record on a video, share it on YouTube, and then subscribe STB Alia Yogyakarta English drama, and then write out the title so that it might the videos might also help promote our campus, and then set the link to drama Google Classroom. And then we also had to add, they also had to add explanation on the significance, meaning, and moral values on the part of dialogues acted out. They can also be creative by having costumes, music, songs, and then setting, yeah, and then you can watch the video later on, but as I do not have much time, so maybe you can check the videos later on your own. And then okay, reflection on the learning process, the opportunities. The internet and other digital technologies can be used by both the students and also the teachers to create and present multimedia materials and projects. They motivate the students, make teaching more fun, and then allows variation in teaching. Both teachers and students can learn to use digital audio, video recorders, computer software, create storyboards, and others to present the materials and projects. In the process, the student can relate to the text to their personal experiences and develop the ability of autonomy, learning anytime and anywhere. And this is the nature of our 21st century jobs or workplace. Challenges: students' low language proficiency and unfamiliarity with the cultural and social background of the text. Students' poor motivation. Many students seem to struggle to find the self-motivation to log on to engage in learning, and then students cheating. Unreliable information because they can maybe simply copy and paste. Technical problems, unsupported gadgets and bad internet connection, and then students' extracurricular activities during lessons. They might do like almost everything during class. That's why sometimes I ask them to please show your thesis, and then I ask them to read, and then some questions so that to make sure that they really engage in the class. This is the videos you could check on your own later. And my last slide. This is a quote from our former President Sukarno. 1,000 of old men are just able to dream, but a young man is able to change the world. 1.000 orang tua bisa bermimpi, 1 orang pemuda bisa mengubah dunia. I might not inspire all my students, yeah, but I need only one student to get inspired and inspire others. Yeah, I need only one man. I only need one person to change the world. And this person can be my student, but can also your student. Thank you. I think that's all, Bu Sarah. Get back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Hilaria. It was such an inspiring presentation you have shared. And I'm inspired of your presentation. It's me. Thank you, Bu Hilaria. So, yeah. Now all speakers have shared their experiences in teaching literature in an online class environment. Now let's move on to our second session, which is question and answer session. I have collected several questions here. I'm going to start from these 2 questions. It is addressed to Bu Maria. Okay. So the question is from Ibu Novia Karen, Sanata Dharma University. And then she asks, good morning, Miss Ika. Thank you for sharing your experience. I would like to ask, what's your tips and tricks to engage the chemistry for the students related to the character forming through this online class. Thank you, Ms. Ika. Okay, please,
Okay,
Ika.
thank you, Bu Saras. Okay, Miss Karen, hi. I hope you're fine. Tips and tricks. Well, I'm still learning. I have been learning for teaching. So I think Bu Tias or Bu Laksmi or Bu Saras or Bu Hilaria, I think they are experts. But if I may propose my tips and tricks, perhaps the right mindset. So when we have positive thinking, like what is it? They are good. Our students, our partners are good. They will be able to achieve our goals together. Like our positive thought will influence us to create positive environment, positive society, and it's just like that. And I think the chemistry, I take my job, it's not a job actually. I learned from a man, like our job is our way to worship our God. So it means that we will do our best when we, when we help others. So, take it as a job is a burden, can be a burden for us, but taking it as a, just like Miss Diaz, Butias, like we, we are blessed, right? This is blessing, yeah. So right mindset, positive, positive thinking. And I think the power of society, like we belong to positive thinkers, and it doesn't mean that we will not have negative thought, no, but we will be able to manage our negative thought. So I'm lucky because I also have you, Miss Karen, in CLS class like that. And other classes like we also in pros in ELT class. And I believe that my partners or my students will strive for their excellence, but it needs process, and I do not want to push my students or my partners. I think it will be better for us if we work together, like understand our students' difficulties and solve the problem together like that. So if I still remember Ibu Tejo, solutif. Yeah, Bu Hilaria, you smile, you laugh, yeah. So jadi uang ya solutif, like that. So yeah, I think a class is not a lectures class, no, but a class is our work together. Yeah. Okay, and I think that's all. So perhaps Bu Tias, Bu Hilaria, Bu Giatmi, or perhaps Bu Saras want to add, because I've been learning and I'm still learning.
Okay, so be positive and keep motivating our students, right, Bu Ika?
Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Ika. Bu Tias, do you want to add something?
Thank you for the opportunity. Was that related to the engagement?
Yep.
How to engage?
How to engage the chemistry of our student.
Okay. To tell you the truth, I found it different from real class. I used to be blocked by the screen, so it was hard at the beginning, and it lasted relatively long for me, because I needed about a year to adjust with this situation. So how to engage my students? Hang on. Can you hear me clearly? The sounds. Is my voice clear?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear it clearly.
All right. It started. I learned more. This is what it means. I started to adjust with the situation when I started to trust my students. And I think it also answers Pak Yusuf Anugrah's question about the uh, our optimism to dealing with the students' ability to create things. I trust my students with whatever they do in doing their assignments. Of course, I provided them with instructions, and I also provide rubrics to uh, assess their work. But actually, I told the students that the rubrics work for both the students and me to uh, be on the same page. So I use the rubric not only to evaluate the students' works, but it also helps me uh, maintain or keep me on track. So when I am in bad mood, for example, because of the fatigue, because of the stressful situation of this online environment, I could look at, I will always have the rubrics at hand. Uh, so my subjectivity can be minimized as I score the students' papers. And when I trust my students surprised me too often with their creativity. Just this morning, for example, before I went to this room preparing for the webinar, I had my 7 o'clock class, and some of my students surprised me, and they really made my day because they shared with me their reading experience. My morning class this morning, extensive reading class, we usually had uh, book sessions, book sharing sessions, and my students did really great jobs. They shared what they read, and they inspired me with the possibilities of how books could bring them to different media such as films, cartoons, anime, which is probably I'm not familiar with. Students today know a lot about the online stuff, and frankly speaking, I learn a lot from them. So I share what I know, but at the same time, I also ask my students to share what they know. So like what I said before, my students and I built kind of learning environment to bridge these blocks of the screen. So I hope it helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Tias. So I think it's similar with Bu Ika's answer. Keep motivating our students and trust them. Yeah, we need to push their creativity and applying all the social media and digital resources. All right, Bu Jimmy, do you want to add something? I think you are still muted, Bu Jimmy.
Okay. I agree with Dia's statement that students know more about technology now. They are more technological literate than us maybe, yeah, because they know more about social media. And for me myself, I I like the quote from Bu Ika, yeah, okay, not to be okay. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if we ask our student and learn from our student because we are partner. Yeah. So when actually when I decided to use Google Classroom, I have no idea about Google Classroom. And then besides doing some tutorial on the YouTube, I also ask my student how to manage the Google Classroom. And then I also share ideas about how to record, give us voice in PowerPoint, and they know a lot about uh, such kind of thing. And in other classes, in basic marketing, sorry, business English, I think when I ask the student to create their CV, they create their CV creatively. They use Canvas, and it's so interesting for me. And I start to learn Canvas too from my students. That's how. So we can learn from many people, even to our students.
All right, Bu Jimmy. So we can also learn from our students, yeah? All right, I think let's move on to the next question. It is addressed to both Bu Ika and Bu Hilaria, I guess, because those speakers teach drama class, yeah? So it is a question from Ibu Laksmi from UST. What would be the advantages of joining drama and play courses for students of English education? Thanks in advance. Ibu Ika, please.
Okay, Ibu Sarah, thank you. Perhaps Bu Hilaria first. Ladies first. Ibu Hilaria.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the question. I believe that all literary works can be great material for all students or all field. Yeah, to study not only about life but also study about language. Yeah, but in acting out the drama or the play, they can experience the play itself. Yeah, they can really grasp the meanings of the drama by acting it out, and that's because that's the nature of play, right? They should be acted out on stage. So when they can study about that experience, they can feel the meanings better. And then I believe that by having more experience, that kind of experience, they can learn better. And then most importantly, they can be better human beings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Hilaria. Bu Ika, do you want to add something?
Thank you, Ibu Hilaria. Okay, so I do agree, absolutely agree. Besides, if I may add, so I think a lot of advantages that we can achieve when we, what is it, have drama or play performance course for what is it, English language education study program. In relation with the language, for example, dramatic reading, it can improve their pronunciation. They need to check the word first, and then after that, they try to pronounce it like that. And then this activity, for example, dramatic reading, it can be an example for them in the future when they will be the teacher, for example, kindergarten or elementary school or junior high school. They can have a mini play or mini drama, and it's fun because what is that, pronunciation, like they will not repeat one word again and again, but they, what is it, we help them to pronounce it, and then in a fun learning, what is it, condition. I think it will be great. And the group project, for example, play performance in Sanata Dhamma University, we usually, what is it, have performance, but during pandemic situation like this, we couldn't have that, but in the future, we do hope that we can have it also. So what is it, they what is it, they are situated in a condition that they have to be able to face the problem in a group. They have to be responsible, what is it, for their duties, for example, and then they have to be able to manage their emotion too and help others. So this one is a kind of introduction to the working field, like in a school, for example, we will meet other teachers, for perhaps we will have the headmaster, and then we have to be able to manage our emotion. We have to be able to solve the problem, to approach other people, etc. Right? So I believe that literary works, especially, for example, drama or play or prose or poetry, will what is it? Will help our students, especially our future teachers. So I just imagine if we didn't have literary works for them, so we would not create, compassionate teachers in the future. So literary works are needed. These activities are needed. Why? Because we together are creating compassionate teachers in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buka. I think your answer is very inspiring. So by learning about literature, we also learn how to live our life, right? All right. I think that's the last question today because our time limitation. So yeah, thank you so much for all the speakers for sharing your valuable experiences and knowledge today. Thank you, Bu Tias, Bu Jimmy, Bu Hilaria, and Bu Ika. And as a moderator, allow me to sum up the conclusion of our webinar's material today. We could learn that teaching literature in an online class environment could be challenging at first, but it also opens to many opportunities as long as teachers want to improve their skills in using technology and use their creativity in delivering the materials. All right, I think that concludes today's presentation. Hopefully the presentation will be beneficial for everybody, and I'm going to return the event to the Master of Ceremony. Please, Bu Ika, thank you so much.
Ibu again. Thank you, Bu Saras. So ladies and gentlemen, hello again. Honorable speakers, Ibu Afria from Sarjana Wiyata University, Ibu Kiatmi from Veteran University, Ibu Tias from Satya Wacana University, Ibu Maria from Sanata Dharma University, and also Ibu Hilaria from STBLY Yogyakarta. We'd like to expand our gratitude and appreciation to all of you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experiences for us to learn on this webinar. Such an inspiring and enlightening sharing. Thank you. And also high appreciation and thanks go to all participants of our today's webinar. Thank you for making your time to join us today. But before we end this webinar, I'd like to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to keep in touch with us by following STBLY Yogyakarta on our social media. You may follow our Instagram, our Facebook page, and also subscribing our YouTube, of course, STBLY Yogyakarta. And that's all the announcement for today. And dear all participants and speakers, what do you think about turning on your camera so we can take pictures of us all as documentation? Could you turn on your camera? Passion, yeah. Smiling beautifully. That will help sharing positive energy one each other, right? Okay, thank you, everyone. Well, there is a quote I'd like to share you today after listening to our wonderful speakers. So here's the quote. Teachers have three loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. A quote by Scott Hayden. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again and have a great day. May God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.